Hello, my name is Beth Pack, and this is my reading, writing, and grammar micro lesson. Um, you, hello students. You remember yesterday we were talking about the story called The Little Mermaid. The Little Mermaid. It was an interesting story and not quite what we are used to as far as the Little Mermaid story. The Little Mermaid story from Disney, Walt Disney World, is a little different, a lot different actually, than the Little Mermaid story by Hans Christian Andersen. Hans Christian Andersen. You remember who he is? Who is Hans Christian Andersen? Well, he was an author of a lot of books back in the late 1800s, I believe. And he wrote books. Well, he wrote The Little Mermaid. He also wrote The Ice Queen, I believe it was, The Little Match Girl, and Ugly Duckling, just to name a few, just a couple of them. But he wrote a lot, actually. So what do you remember about it? What do you remember? Was it good? Did you like it? If you could, would you change any aspects of the story? What would you change about it? If you recall, in the end of the story, the Little Mermaid did not get the prince. She didn't, which was a big difference in the Walt Disney story, where at the end she did get the prince and she married him. But in this story, she did not. And it was kind of sad, I believe. If you do not remember the story and you would like to listen to it read to you again, you can go to this audiobook on YouTube for Little Mermaid. And let me go ahead and we will go to that really quick and I'll show you what you can expect when you find it. So I copied and I pasted the link to the YouTube Hans Christian Andersen, The Little Mermaid audiobook. I'll play just a few minutes or a few seconds of it.
Or out at sea, the water is as blue as the bluest water, and as clear as the clearest crystal. But it is too deep for any cable to
Okay. It's amazing the books that you can find on YouTube. I think it is actually a very good wealth of information on YouTube. You can find many audiobooks, fairy tales, all kinds of them. It was very interesting looking this up. All right, let's go back to our little lesson here. So you are going to write a script in small groups of your own version of how the Little Mermaid story should go. What would you change about the story? Would there be a witch in there? What kind of witch? There was a witch in there, but what would you change about it? Let's see. Maybe that her voice would not be taken, that she could talk and that she could sing, because apparently she had a really beautiful voice. But the witch, she took her voice, right? What if the voice was not taken? What if there was another form of payment for the use of legs instead of fins or a tail? So you will perform the final draft of your script in front of the class. I know it might be a little scary, but I know you can do it. You are very brave people, and you're very, very talented too, I think. Before we go on, there are some words that I think we need to talk about. They were big words that some of you may not have understood. So number one word here is mermaid. Mermaid, it's said like that, mermaid, all right? Is a fictitious or fake or mythical half-human sea creature with a head and a trunk of a woman and the tail of a fish. Conventionally, they're depicted as beautiful with long flowing golden hair. Yes, so it was a fish woman. The bottom half is a fish and the top is a woman. All right, the next word that we're looking at is sea. So the definition is the expanse of salt water that covers most of the Earth's surface and surrounds its land masses. Meaning, so we've got oceans, right? Which is the Pacific Ocean, and we've got the Atlantic Ocean. And there are many other seas. There is the Mediterranean Sea, there is the Indian Ocean, I believe. Just different names for them, but all of them are the sea. The sea. All right? It's salt water. All right? The next word, oyster. Oyster. All right? Some people like to eat oysters, but you can find pearls in an oyster. So any number of bivalve, that means two valve, mollusks with rough, irregular shells. Several kinds are eaten, especially raw, as a delicacy and may be farmed for food or pearls. Like I said, pearls. I like pearls. I think pearls are beautiful. Okay, the next word we're looking at is princess. Oh, princess. I think every little girl wants to be a princess because they are dressed up in beautiful dresses and they wear a crown, right? I know my daughters always liked to dress up like a princess. So a princess is the daughter of a monarch. That's another big word, monarch. A monarch is a king or a queen, all right, of a land. And then we're talking about prince. The prince is the son of a monarch, like a king or queen, the son of a king or queen, all right? The next word, and there are several of them, and I'm running out of time here, but ship is a vessel larger than a boat for transporting people or goods by sea. Okay, it's a ship, it's big. All right, royal, having the status of a king or queen or a member of their family. All right, fireworks, a device containing gunpowder and other combustible chemicals. What does that mean, combustible? Meaning it catches fire and it explodes. Combustible chemicals that causes a spectacular explosion when ignited, used typically for display or in celebrations. And finally, sailors. Sailors. A sailor is a person whose job it is to work as a member of the crew of a commercial or naval ship or boat, especially one who is below the rank of officer, all right? So a sailor is somebody who helps to sail the ship or the boat. And takes care of the boat, takes care of the ship, okay? They help, they're not in charge, but they do the hard work, all right? Storm. A storm is a violent disturbance of the atmosphere with strong winds and usually rain, thunder, lightning, or snow. This comes from the sky. Palace. The official residence of a sovereign, archbishop, bishop, or other exalted person, meaning a palace is usually where a king or queen lives, or somebody who is very great and important, somebody who is in charge, all right? And finally, witch. Witch, a woman thought to have magic powers, especially evil ones, popularly depicted as wearing black cloak and pointed hat and flying on a broomstick. Yeah, they're not thought of very highly, I think. So All right, well, thank you so much for watching me and for watching my video.